purpose of the forensic unit is to provide support to investigations carried out by Fish and Wildlife officers in the province of Alberta. This support comes in the form of providing forensic analysis for submitted evidence. We develop DNA-based tests and databases. We provide support for evidence collection, and we also deliver expert witness testimony to the courts.
One of the most common things we get are packages of meat, unidentified, sort of just steaks or pieces of meat from someone's freezer. But we also get all kinds of different things like clothing from a hunter or hunting tools, so knives and saws. Sometimes we'll get a single hair from an incident scene or a single spot of blood. We also have searched people's vehicles, or we'll get large trophies, say antlers from a rack on a wall or a head that's been mounted. So a really wide variety of evidence from a lot of different species of wildlife.
Our role is to analyze evidence that's collected by Fish and Wildlife officers in the field. They'll often respond to a complaint, shots heard, landowner believes there's been an animal killed in this field. Officer will respond, find, say, a gut pile, some biological material, blood, hair, hide, something of that nature. Collect that. May have a license number given to him by the landowner. Track down the owner of the vehicle. There may be some blood, hair in the back of the vehicle. There may be a carcass in the shed or barn or in the possession of the individual. So he'll collect samples from those, bring them to the lab. We'll do DNA typing on samples from the incident scene of the crime and samples from the suspect, samples that were in the possession of the individual they're investigating. So we'll do the DNA typing. We'll look at the DNA types, see if they're a match. If they're a match, we can indicate the statistical likelihood of that taking place, and then the officer can proceed with laying charges and taking the individual to trial.
The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime invited our laboratory to take part in a meeting that was aimed at developing guidelines for the collection and forensic analysis of evidence that's associated with the poaching and trafficking of ivory from African elephants. And these guidelines are aimed at combating a very serious poaching problem in African elephants for their ivory. And these guidelines will also stand as a kind of a benchmark for forensic analysis in the wildlife community.
The forensic unit contributes significantly in the goal to provide an effective enforcement response to fish and wildlife crime throughout the province as well as throughout the country. The unit's capabilities is a very important and powerful tool that our fish and wildlife officers use on a daily basis to aid in their investigations. And without that tool, we would be far less effective in our investigations. So we're very fortunate in Alberta to have this technique.